Can you smell what the Joes are cooking? What's going on, Dave?
Hey, how's it going today, man?
I'm doing all right, my friend. Excited about the episode. Again, this is your main man, Ali, on the phone here with no Antonio Brown, Dave Allen, on the ones and twos, bringing it to you live. Let's go ahead, people. I want to say first off, as usual, thank you so much for tuning in. We certainly do appreciate all the support that we've gotten here. I appreciate you guys joining up here, liking the videos, commenting, and subscribing. If you haven't done so yet, please go ahead. It means the world to us when we get that like, comment, and subscribe. We do want to be interactive with everyone, so if you have a question, if you have a scenario or whatever, reach out to us here on YouTube, and we will get back to you. You can also reach us on Instagram at the Average Joe's Fantasy Football Podcast. There is a underscore between each word, and also the Average Joe's Fantasy Football on gosh, I want to say YouTube. It's not YouTube. I'm sorry. It's Facebook. Yeah, get us on Facebook as well. And you know I have those senior moments, so you just got to get used to that. Every now and again, my brain works a little bit slow, trying to pick it up. But anyhow, man, doing great here, Dave. Man, how's things going for you? How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Can't complain with a short week. Starting off the week with Memorial Day.
Absolutely.
And getting the week zooming on by, so can't be too upset with that.
Absolutely. And I always want to thank the veterans out there, the families who have lost loved ones to wars in the military or any kind of conflicts or whatnot. Just want to say thank you guys for your sacrifice. I got a few military people in my family. My father-in-law was in the military. My mother was in the military. Uncle was in the military. So that's just and that's just to name a few. We got some more people as well. So we definitely appreciate you guys. Do want to make one mention of one thing here. We got the listener league full. It's going to be exciting, man. I'm really excited about this year. It's in fact it filled up so quickly. I think we may have been able to do that 2-league deal where you kind of head one up and I kind of head one up, and then I guess we meet for the championship or whatever. I know we're going to have such an outpouring of support on that, but we got that full. So guys, keep listening, stay in contact with us because we'll be running one of these every year, and hopefully we can get some more people in.
Absolutely, yep.
So we're going to do this real quick tonight. We got a new segment we're going to roll out for you guys. We're going to try. Be gentle with us. It's our first time rolling through it, but I think it's going to be fun, something you guys look forward to throughout the year. We're also going to go over some news and notes, talk about a few people. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. So let's go ahead and talk about some news and notes real quickly here, Dave. First thing I wanted to bring up is Terrell Pryor. I see you picked him up in one of our leagues. He was signed by the Jets here today. What are you expecting out of Terrell Pryor?
Jaguars.
I said the Jags, right? Did I say Jets?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean Jets.
Yeah, it sounded like you said Jets.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's to be honest, that team for me is it's on the struggle bus. So I am.
I like the struggle bus.
I'm looking for any sort of potential. I think that receiving core is wide open with regards to I think a lot of fantasy players are expecting D.D. Westbrook. I think the forgotten man of Marquise Lee. He's still there. I'll kind of talk about him later, but I think with the quickness in which they signed Terrell Pryor, I think he's got the opportunity to, make a statement on the team. I believe he's still got the speed and just something for especially for that team, just a little piece that could blow up into something, could be nothing, but worth a shot.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect there. I thought they had a pretty good wide receiver core, quite honestly, with D.D. and Keelan Cole and Marquise Lee coming back. They got
I love me some Cole.
Yeah, Cole is your guy, and you kind of you brought me back to the middle on him because we were high on him last year, and he had a 2 or 3 game stretch where it was like, okay, it looks like it's happening for him. I'm all aboard the Cole train. You and I both were on him, and there was experts in the league were starting to talk about him. Made some amazing catches. and then nothing. He just completely fell off the map.
Dropped off.
I mean, almost like he disappeared and he got benched. I don't know what happened, but you're still on the train. I hopped off. I said, no, I'm not going that way again. But you brought me back to the middle a little bit, where if I'm finding him late in drafts, I think I drafted him in the 20 somewhere on one of my startup drafts here a few days back. I am looking out for him. So between the four, now that you got Terrell Pryor there, we'll leave DJ Chark off right now. Between the four, I know you like Cole, but who are you willing to draft first? Hi.
Among the four, for me, I got to take Marquise Lee, and it's just because I know coming off his injury, but I've already seen what he can do. I already know that the coaching staff loves him. He had an unfortunate injury, but I think when he comes back and is full healthy, he's supplanted himself as the number one receiver, and he's a very good receiver. So that would be the guy I'd be looking at first.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and he was really good before injury. They signed him basically to be the number one there. They gave him the money just to put their money where their mouth was on him. So I like him coming back this year. In fact, he was involved in one of our trades here recently, and you showed us how much you like Marquise Lee. So yeah, I think that Dede Westbrook is going a little bit earlier than Marquise at this point in time in drafts. I would say it's pretty much a toss-up. I would take the best value at the best time. So that's good. Just out today, I got some news out of Kansas City that Damian Williams, by the offensive coordinator, said that he is the starter. So they've put to bed could it possibly sneak out here and be Carlos Hyde? How good are you feeling about Damian Williams now?
Yes, I'm still having trouble getting on that, getting behind Damian. I was already under the impression that he was going to be the starter. It would be different if the offensive coordinator came out and said something along the lines of, this is our bell cow, this is our, you know what I mean? Just coming at a starter, for me, it's like, okay, well, what capacity is starter to you? Does that mean Kareem Hunt role starter, or does that mean, okay, he's starting, but we signed Carlos Hyde for a reason, so he's still going to play? So for me, and especially at the value, a second rounder for Damian Williams is just not where I'm not bullish enough on him to take him there.
Yeah, I'm looking, if I can get him the end of the third, if I'm on the turnish, kind of where, 10, 11, 12, I wouldn't mind, because he is looked as, at least for 1 year, going to be pretty hot. And anybody in that Kansas City offense is going to have a chance to really put together some solid numbers. And we've seen what he can possibly do the last few games of the year last year at Kansas City. So if you can even get 90%, 85% of what he was doing, you're going to have close to an RB1, if not definitely an RB1 in Damian Williams. I think the question really becomes the long-term viability. Is he pushed by Carlos Hyde? If you're in a dynasty league, can you count on him? You and I are in one of these newer leagues now together, 5-year kind of a dynasty where you don't really pronounce a winner until year 5, and you get eliminated if you're the bottom 2. We've seen these kind of leagues pop out. So my question in that league is, okay, he may be awesome for this year. I mean, he may help you win the, so to speak, championship for this year. And if you're in a redraft league, awesome. And Dynasty, I view Dynasty where it's like the NFL. Your opportunities for a championship are few and far between. You take them when you can get them. If he can get you there, awesome. But in this particular league where there's not really a champion until 5 years from now, I don't think he's going to be the starter next year. I don't think he's going to be the starter 2 years from now. Are you thinking they're going to draft someone? What are you thinking?
That's the nervousness for me. Is I think with the draft next year, I see them taking pretty good stock in a running back next year. Yeah. I think that Damian starts this year. Obviously, they've already said that, and he maybe starts next year. But I think as that rookie they draft next year grooms and they get that player accustomed to the lifestyle and accustomed to the playbook and things of that nature, I think Damian Williams moves over. I don't think that is their long-term plan. I think it's just their right now bridge, and they're lucky enough to have a fantastic offense to where they can plug in a middle of the pack, so to speak, running back. But I think that they would much rather have a bigger, better threat back there, and that's the direction they'll be headed.
Okay, absolutely. Guess we'll see how it works out. I mean, who knows? If it continues to perform, maybe they go ahead and just go with him. I guess we'll see. So I think he's a value maybe at the end of the third right now. I do like him on that turn. Let's talk a little bit about the Steelers here and James Conner. When I'm drafting, I don't feel comfortable with James Conner at all. I don't know what it is exactly about him. I'd rather just go with a wide receiver. Do you think Jalen Samuels is going to come in and steal enough touches from Conner to, I'm not going to say make him irrelevant, but people are drafting him off his high from last year, the middle of the season when, 2 touchdowns, 138 yards rushing. Oh, he's taking the place of Le'Veon Bell, no problem. But we did see him tail off. We did see Jalen Samuels get a lot more touches at the end of the year. What do you see the balance like there? Are you thinking it's going to be more at the end of the year or more like the middle of the year when Conner was hot?
I think they'll go back to more of the beginning of the middle of the year when Conner was hot, and giving him all those touches. I think the big thing was Conner was starting to, I think he got slammed pretty hard close to the end of the year, got a concussion or something like that.
Yeah.
Had a couple of injuries he was dealing with. And then when Samuels came in, believe me, I had him. I mean, I had him on one of my teams, and I was excited. I was like, yeah, let's let James Samuels play.
Yeah.
He's going to take over, and it's going to be his backfield. We saw him do very well receiving, but he wasn't the runner that Conner was. And I think that's going to be the big thing. Now, does Samuel still get in and play and catch a few passes? Maybe. Conner can catch the ball too. So I think that I don't think Samuels sees the field enough to threaten Conner much. But I agree with you. When I see Conner on the board, it doesn't look good to me either. I look over Conner as well. And I'm not quite sure why I do. It's just I don't want to go in that direction.
I think possibly hanging around me is a problem. I tend not to jump on the bus of people until year 2. You got to show me, like Tyreek Hill in his situation, the fortunate situation. But it took me a couple of years to kind of see that. Like, okay, there's no way he's going to repeat that. Oh my God, he repeated that. Kamara. There's no.
That's the big one.
Yeah, that's the one. I mean, there's no way he's gonna repeat. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna do better. I mean, it was. So now I'm on board with Kamara. Now I don't know what's gonna happen to Tyreek Hill, but if he comes back, I'm on board there. Now it will kind of matter where he lands, what kind of offense. I mean, he can turn into Tyler Gabriel if he's not in the right offense. You don't know.
Yeah.
But he has ungodly speed. So I guess we'll see. But definitely, I guess he's going to have to do it again to really make me feel more comfortable that he's not really a stopgap. I don't believe the Steelers went into the season thinking they were going to lose Le'Veon Bell. I don't think they drafted him with the thought that we're actually going to lose out on Le'Veon Bell. They did make him, I guess, at least a competitive offer to what he got in the open market. So it's not as if they say, you know what, go ahead and walk. I mean, they tried down to the last day, I do believe, to make that happen. So his skill level, I mean, he's not Le'Veon and some of those things he can do, but is he good enough? It looks like it, but I'm not sure if it's good enough long term. I'm not sure if it's good enough to keep Jalen Samuels or Benny Snell off the field and we have a full-blown committee possibly. I don't know. So, yeah, okay.
Right, yeah. And I think the thing for me with him too, and for me it's the Steelers offense as a whole, and I don't know why it doesn't affect me towards Juju as much as it affects me towards James Conner, but I think just the whole the dismal and how the team has been this offseason with the drama here, the drama there, and it's just everything's changing. It's just kind of like I don't want a part of that offense because of everything that's going on. What is the offense going to look like? All of that. So. But as far as being challenged on field by the backup running backs, at this point, hard to tell, but I don't think James Conner gets challenged that big. That's serious. I think last year, when they talked James Conner up a lot before, or not last year, the year before when Le'Veon was playing, but he was if he had injuries or what have you, or suspension he was dealing with, and James Conner was just dealing with his unfortunate situation that he beat out. So I think they're confident in him and are happy to move forward with him.
Good deal. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Andrew Luck. Now, he is the call, he's the heartbeat, like many quarterbacks in the league, elite quarterbacks, of the Colts team, of the Colts offense. Everybody takes a huge hit if he's not in the game, and he's being held out of OTAs right now. I believe it's a calf strain or calf injury. With his injury history at all, are you worried about Luck in the Colts offense? Are you worried about T.Y. Hilton at all, or what do you think?
It's actually, the funny thing is I didn't see that report, and so this is my first time hearing about it.
Okay.
So this is a live reaction. If it is a calf strain, I believe is what you said. If it's that, I'm not too concerned with that. We've already seen, he doesn't run nearly as much as he did before his shoulder injury. They beefed up the O-line to help get him much more protection back there. So as far as it being a lower body injury, that doesn't too concern me for his health, for the team, or for T.Y. Hilton. Now, if this is just a facade and it's something else, then that's a whole different conversation. But for right now, if he's held out because of lower leg injury, I think that's just comes down to protecting our most important asset.
Right. Yeah, they're holding him out of OTAs. I mean, I think this is the second week in a row. I mean, and if you have a strain, I can definitely attest to this. I had a strain in my leg a couple years back, and it could be painful, and B, it can take a while to actually recover. Now, of course, I don't have NFL, training staff working on me around the clock.
Right. We're not Andrew Luck.
No, not Andrew Luck. I don't have millions invested in me. But, I mean, honestly, it took me, man, like 6, 7, 8 months before I felt the full strength of my leg come back. I mean, after a few weeks, I could walk fine. But I felt just a little bit of weakness. It wasn't quite right. It took a lot of time to get back right. And I think when you have a real strain, the muscle has been torn from the bone or a little bit or something like that, and it can take some time. So we hope the best for him, because I have a ton of T.Y. Hilton, a ton of a lot.
I'm about to get a little bit more. We're about to get a little bit more.
I love his. You know what? I should be talking to you about this, but I love his value in the third round. I love his value there. If I can get him in the third round, I'm taking it all day long. You got top 10 upside in the third round. You don't get that out of many third rounds. And don't you poach me again. Do not. Look. No.
I'm not even. You just heard me say I'm about to get a little bit more, so I would imagine.
About to get him a little more in another league. You already took Melvin Gordon. You know it was a cheap shot. You know I was hoping he was coming back around to me. I was like, man, they sleeping on Melvin. I seen in the chat room the other day, the guy was telling me about his dynasty league. Melvin Gordon, in his, I think it was a 10-man league, something like 10, 12-man league, dropped to 2.10. He said, should I trade for him? I said, are you kidding? What kind of hobo league are you in where Melvin Gordon drops to 2.10?
Do you guys need an owner?
Right. Because I can win this every year. I mean, who are you picking? I mean, even in the Superflex, he shouldn't go to 2.10. Come on.
Oh, no, absolutely not. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, but I was really hoping he would come back around, and you sniped me a little bit on that. I think you did that out of spite, man.
I think you understand what running backs are on the board. That's the best one.
Yeah, he was. He was.
But I will admit to the people though, I did smile a little bit and look at I looked at your name as I clicked Melvin, and I waited. I want you guys to know this. I was at work. I was busy, but I waited for Ollie to text me, so I knew he'd be paying attention.
So I'm watching.
I wanted him to see that.
Oh, that's dirty. That's dirty. That's dirty. He wanted me to be watching while he did it. Yeah, I mean, I could have, because I picked before you. I could have picked him myself, but in this sort of a league, I thought it was maybe it's a tad bit more important to get a wide receiver you can have for the next 6, 7 years. Well, the league doesn't last that long, but at least 5 years. And I got Michael Thomas, and I think regardless of quarterback, he has the talent. Well, not regardless, but as long as he has a decent quarterback, he has the talent to be one of the top tier wide receivers. So I snagged him, hoping and praying that either Melvin Gordon, David Johnson, or Mixon would make it back around to me, and none of them did. None of them did. None of them did. It's not pretty. Anyhow, moving on. Let's go ahead and talk about your hometown guy, Miles Sanders, being held out of OTAs already with I think he has a hamstring injury. What's going on with the guy, man? I mean, does he not know he's already in a 33% timeshare? You can't lose time right now.
This is not the time to be monitoring an injury.
No.
This is not the time. Yeah, so I've tried to look into that and haven't found too much. The Eagles themselves do not seem too concerned. I will say that. So I don't know if it's a major injury or if they're just coming with precaution, or if they're just saying, hey, you weren't going to start anyway. No, I'm just kidding. But no,
that will be a hot take because everybody's
right. Miles is definitely in the game plan. No, I think that what they're doing now, I know he's been on the sideline, and I think that he's just getting mental reps. He's still there. He's still taking it all in. It's definitely something to be, I don't want to say concerned about, because if you have a top 4 draft pick, Miles Sanders is going to be one of your picks. So it's not anything to shy me away from him that much, but it is something if you were expecting him to play right off the bat, week 1 to get some reps, you might want to monitor the situation a little closer.
Yeah, it's definitely something to look out for. Now, let me ask you, what round, let's say of a draft, that's just, doesn't matter, redraft or dynasty, are you willing, a regular draft with vets, are you willing to take Miles Sanders in?
Oh, I would, if I'm comparing it to where I've seen other people go, I would feel comfortable taking him around round 8, 9. I think that's where you're seeing Jordan Howard go. I think that's where you're seeing those type goes. Yeah, I know. So for me, I think there's still, I'm taking people like a lot of picks around that area. I like to take a Lamar Miller. I like to take my starting running backs that are falling real late. That I would take that over the quote-unquote opportunity, I guess, of a Miles Sanders, of a David Montgomery, and things of that. That's just my thought process of when I'm drafting.
Okay. All right. I got you. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and talk about
well, tell the people where your idea of what you think, because everybody thinks differently, so where you would take Miles
I was
Sanders.
probably right around round 6, which means I'm also probably not getting him, maybe round 7. I think I've seen him going around round 5-ish in drafts. I'm gonna be okay with more like a Montgomery in around 5. Round 6, it would be probably the earliest for me for Sanders. Even though I like his talent, I mean, outside, between the 3 big running backs that came out this year, I like him probably more than the other 2. I just don't like his landing spot. Had he ended up in Oakland, I think he would be the number 1 off the board.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So I guess we'll see.
Absolutely.
A lot of folks are really high on Montgomery too there with the Bears. I just think that they paid Mike Davis to come in and get some reps, and I think unless he's blowing Mike Davis out in OTAs and in training camp, that he will get a little bit of run as well. But I like Montgomery in Chicago too. I would be willing to take Montgomery a little bit earlier, definitely right around round 5. Miles Sanders probably around 6. Absolutely. All right, let's get into one more thing, and then we're going to get into our new segment. I want to talk about Todd Gurley a little bit. We're getting conflicting reports. Not even conflicting, but maybe on opposite sides of the spectrum. Everybody's worried about the knee. But then you hear this coach come out and say he's on a great program, looking good. He's not participating yet, but he is doing some work on, I believe, on the sideline kind of a thing. He's going to be on track. A lot of people out there saying, hey, at least even if he's not 100%, he's going to get 60-65% of the carries. How are you feeling about Todd Gurley as a value in drafts? How are you feeling about his situation?
So the way I'm feeling about his value and the way I'm feeling about his situation are two on completely different sides. Hate his situation, and it's nerve-wracking. I only own one share of him, and it's in our listener league. It came down to the fact of where, in my opinion, where I got him.
Yeah, you were shooting some shots in that league. You were coming from half court in a couple of those picks.
Yeah. No, I thought to myself, I said, you know what? If these guys end up playing, I might have a squad. But yeah, at the 1.8 coming at a redraft, I felt like I'm not asking for Gurley or his knees to provide me with points for years and years to come. I feel like if I can get Todd Gurley's talent and his knees are okay, or at least okay enough at the 1.8, I'm happy with that. So with that value, I'm okay with taking Todd Gurley there. Now with his situation, as far as a dynasty owner or keeper league, whatever, I am looking over Todd Gurley without really even being upset about it. Unless, as far as the first round goes, unless everybody, if I'm at 1.10, if nine running backs would have to go off before I take Todd Gurley as far as the dynasty situation goes because of the situation he's in.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel a little bit more bullish about Todd Gurley. I think they paid him a little bit too much money. I mean, if he has one leg to hop on, they're going to let him go. I mean, you can't let that money get. He's not going to walk away from it. He's not retiring. That's not going to happen. Right. So they better get a little bit of something out of him, and I'm a little more bullish on him. But I think we had a situation the other day where, and it was kind of funny to me, where we've seen Darrell Henderson, who's been completely hyped up. You and I had it out on the podcast about Darrell Henderson one time before, and I laughed at you. I laughed and I blame you because Darrell Henderson went in the 7th round, and it's your fault. This is the world that I live in, and the person that I can blame is you. Darrell Henderson's going way too far, too high.
Let's put the blame on both of us. First of all, because
no, not negative. No.
Give it a second. Yeah, because it's not just my ranking that put him there. The situation is the fact that you talked so bad about it, then came back and had him there. Then Darrell Henderson became the Darrell Henderson podcast. So
no, but then I corrected myself and said, no, he doesn't belong that high. There's nobody else that I really liked, but for where he's at, he is going to be nothing more than a backup unless they shut Todd Gurley down.
Well, look, if you think I'm happy that he went that high, I'm not.
I know, because you couldn't get him.
Right, exactly. I said, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
It was so funny, folks. I mean, we're in a redraft league, 7th round. Darrell Henderson goes. I'm like, what just happened? I mean, he is a backup, and he may be the backup to the backup. Malcolm Brown may be the primary backup, and that is a 7th round.
I was able to grab him. That's the crazy thing. I grabbed Malcolm Brown in the 14th round.
Yeah. Dude, I'm picking him up. If I'm even in a dynasty or anything, I'm picking him up late rounds. You can get him 21st, 22nd round, and he honestly may get a 30% share this year. Now, and if Todd Gurley goes down, I do believe he's going to be the first and second down back. I don't think Darrell Henderson, even though he did it in college is college. We're talking about the pros now.
Right.
And they brought Malcolm Brown in because they like his skill set. I think what you would start to see, and what they keep saying about Darrell Henderson, is he has that Alvin Kamara skill set. you would start to see that Saints kind of split. Mark Ingram gets 40%, maybe Kamara gets 60%, or vice versa, whatever. You'll see a little, thunder and lightning between the two. But it's just kind of funny how that happened. I do wish, obviously, Gurley the best, and I think I guess we'll see more as training camp and everything goes on. Good deal. Let's go ahead and jump into this new segment. I'm really excited about it. It's called Role Play. Again, the idea simply is I'll let Dave know who he's supposed to represent and who he's supposed to play out, situation or a person or whatever, and he'll give you whatever he has on it and vice versa. I'll be honest, I stole it from the Pardon the Interruption show. I liked it a lot, so I figured we would try it out. So how about I let you go first? You want to go first or want me to go first?
Go, as in I'll ask the question first. Let me ask the question first.
Okay.
All right, so you are Juju Smith-Schuster.
All right, okay.
Juju, how do you think you will fare against double coverage this year and getting number one attention?
What's my name? It's Juju, okay? It's WWJD. So if some people think that's what would Jesus do, it's what would Juju do. That's the real vernacular. Okay, when Antonio Brown went out last year, what did I do? I performed.
You performed.
I stepped up, had some of the biggest games of the season. You think that I can't do it again? Look, we got this rookie here called James Washington. Okay, we got Deontay, whoever else they brought in here. But it's my show now. I'm the number one. I'm the guy. And I'm going to crush the double team. I'm going to do what I did last year. I told you I'm ready to step up. This is my team. It's my time. I even high-fived Ben Roethlisberger the other day. Me and him, we go out to dinner all the time. He's going to throw me the ball. I said, how many times did you throw Antonio Brown the ball? I want double that. I'm getting the ball. I'm Juju. Write it down.
Oh, all right. All right.
No, but I think, seriously, I think Juju's going to have a great season. What we'll probably end up seeing is a decrease in efficiency, but certainly an increase in targets. James Washington, I think, going to be a talented second-year player. I know you were really a big fan of James Washington last year when we were talking about AB in a different capacity. We were talking about the Madden curse. I asked you, were you getting as much as Juju as you possibly could? You said, no, I'm actually getting as much as James Washington as I possibly can. And I still expect him to be a number 2 in the offense.
Yeah, same with me. The Dante Moncrief signing doesn't really scare me much. I think James Washington gets that number 2.
What about Deontay Johnson or Thomas?
Yeah, I don't really know much about this guy, and I've seen a couple people, grabbing him, snagging him here and there, but I haven't heard too much. I haven't seen anything that's just too impressive to me, other than the fact that the Steelers have a reputation of drafting these receivers around the same height, and they always perform. But I mean, I don't. Just because AB did it, Juju's doing it, you still got to show me. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, your turn. All right, so I got you here. You're Ryan Fitzpatrick. Okay.
All right.
It looks like you are outperforming Josh Rosen in OTAs. However, many say that he should still be the week 1 starter. What are you going to do about that? How do you feel about that?
So, do me a favor. Tell me how many games Rosen has won. Now
2, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Now think about how many games I've won. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now do me another favor. Tell me how many games those, many people you say that Rosen claims to be starting. Tell me how many games those people have won.
Probably 0.
Yeah. So listen, let me tell you something. Rosen doesn't even have a beard. Have you seen that beard?
I don't think he can grow one in yet, man. I don't know.
Look, I told Rosen, when you play this game, it's either touchdown or interception. At least look, that's how I approach the game. So bombs away. Okay? Rosen will play when I want Rosen to play. As long as I want myself to play, I'm gonna continue to play.
That's how it is. I like it. Now, who's your favorite target so far in OTAs, man? Who's going to be? Everybody's wondering who's going to be the man there.
The man is going to be, and this is for you. This Devontae Parker.
Oh,
shut that man the ball. No. In all seriousness. No, seriously. Yeah. I think as long as Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to be the quarterback there, I personally really like Kenny Stills.
Yeah.
I think that the deep ball is just what Ryan Fitzpatrick is just excelled at, what he continues to excel at, and what he's going to do. And I think Kenny Stills has the best package to excel with that.
Yeah. He might be the best value. I'm not even quite sure, exactly where he's going around, but he's going pretty late. I would probably say on I would, but he's to me is an upgrade over Ryan Tannehill, unless you got Jarvis Landry
there. Yeah, absolutely.
And you got, you want to pick up Jarvis Landry and get those 10 receptions a game for 1 yard apiece. And I mean, hey, listen, and he mess around and get 2 yards apiece, and you're in the house. But anyhow, he's definitely a long ball artist. Has very accurate long ball there. And Kenny Stills would seem to be the kind of a guy he would go after. Devontae Parker, from what I can see, the limited action he can stretch the field just a bit. I was really excited about Wilson at one point, but that's until they got rid of Tannehill. So we'll kind of have to see how things progress there. But we'll go. All right, man. Who am I next? Who do I have?
So your next guy is Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz. Okay.
So you have no limitations this offseason. The Eagles came out and said that no knee brace.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering with the last year and the year before, the injuries you dealt with, why should people trust and take you as their QB1 this year?
I'm Carson Wentz. Have you seen me for the last 2 years? I'm like the prime time, big time starter in the MLB. Okay? I'm like a big time pitcher. I come in, I knock down strikes for the first 7 innings of the game, and then I give it to the reliever. Then I give it to Nick Foles to finish it up, but this bum can't even come in and finish it up. Okay? He can't even get the last 3 strikes of the game. I got to do the whole thing now. So now that I know that it's me and all me, I'll do all 9 innings. I know we're talking about football. And guess what? I look like Prince Harry. Who else does that? Who else can say that? Who else can say he look like an actual prince? Okay.
So are you not concerned at all that they brought in, they brought in Clayton Thorson, they signed another quarterback?
He sounds like he belongs in the Avengers. Clayton Thorson, who is he? No, this is Pennsylvania, baby. It's time for me to shine. Like I said before, I came in, I did my thing for the first half of the season, then I went ahead and sipped a couple of margaritas, and now this dude Foles leaves town. He's out of his position. He's not a starter. Watch, he's not a starter. He's a reliever. I let him close. I win all the regular season games, let him close, and he can't even do that right. Carson Wentz is going to be MVP. Write it down. I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going all 9. I'm going to do the whole thing this year. Carson Wentz, MVP candidate this season, baby. Watch it.
I would love to see it, Carson. That would be fantastic. I'm an Eagles fan. I need it.
Absolutely. All right, man. I got somebody for you here. C.J. Anderson. Now, C.J., you came into the league. You're with Denver. Had a couple 1,000-yard seasons. Looked like one of the next big primary backs here. Workhorse kind of roles. You went over there to Los Angeles when Todd Gurley went down. You were hitting him over the head for 150 yards a game, all the rest of that great stuff. But then they don't even re-sign you. Now you end up in Detroit. How do you feel about the man in front of you, Kerryon Johnson? Are you going to beat him out? Or are you going to show somebody else what you can do? What's going on up there, man?
First of all, let me start off by saying this. I'm not really interested in all this cold. I thought I left it back in Denver. So, that part's a little off-putting. But I just want to make sure for the record, I'm not a backup. I'm a second string. I want to make sure that people understand the difference between the two. Because in LA, everybody was confused. They thought I was a backup. I don't have the name for C.J. Anderson. Does that sound like a backup name?
No, that sounds like a primary back to me.
Exactly. So that means I will play, second string to me means I'll play less than somebody, sure. But when I get in the game, I'm reserving myself. And that way, when I come in, they praise me for winning the game, but I'm not blamed for losing.
Got you.
I'm not backed up.
You're like the reliever. You're like the reliever for Carson Wentz.
Exactly. I love what Carson just. You know what? After what Carson just said, I'm going to Philadelphia and having a cheesesteak with him. But that's neither here nor there. What I'm telling you now is, Kerryon's going to do, his cool little things. That's great. When Matt Patricia looks at me and he looks at Kerryon, he asked himself, which one of their builds looks as close to LeGarrette Blount? I look as close to Blount. I'm getting in the game. I'm getting touchdowns, and I'm going to ball out. And when I want to take a break, I'm going to take a break. Kerryon. Go ahead.
I like it.
Do what you want to do.
I like it. 20 yards on the season, 10 touchdowns. That's how we doing it?
Mark it. And I don't catch balls. I don't catch. It's too cold for that. It's way too cold for that.
I like it. I like it. I'm gonna get a few shares of C.J. Anderson now that he's gonna have 10 touchdowns. I like it. All right, man. Who's my next guy?
Yeah. So for you, Devontae Freeman.
Okay.
So look, Devontae, I'm really interested in talking to you. I feel like I haven't seen you on the field or really anywhere other than this weird commercial they play all the time that you're on. Are you going to finish this season? I mean, it's been 2 years since you played a complete season.
Right. What's the question?
Do you plan on finishing this season? Is that
Did you see my commercial? Is that your goal? Did you see my commercial?
I saw it. You looked pretty good. You had a nice spin move.
Okay. What did The Rock do the second part of his career? He's a movie star. Yeah. He's a movie star. I'm going to answer your question. The answer is no. move along. Draft Ito Smith. Your boy Freeman is going for the movies. I'm going to be a star. I'm going to be in the next movie of The Rock. Me and him going to chop it up. I'm going to jump off some buildings, blow some stuff up. I mean, because this football thing is not for me. I've been hurt. Understand? But I can make more money in the movies. I'm not going to finish the season. I'm not going to finish the season. So I'm going to come out there. I'm going to do a couple of games for you guys. It's going to be a quick cameo, basically, and then I'll hand it off to Ito, okay? That's what I'm going to do.
Oh. So, let me just a follow-up question. You're comfortable enough in yourself to just tell everybody that you're basically chalking it up before the season's even begins?
I mean, you talked about Devontae Parker. How many games he played in the last 2 years? How are you going to come at me? I led the league 1 year in rushing. I've been to the top. He hasn't played jack, and people keep drafting him. Okay, you keep talking about him. I'm going to give you a cool 2 or 3 games this season, and then I'm going out to L.A. with LeBron, my boy LeBron and The Rock, and we're going to chop it up and do what we do. That's it. I'm good. I'm done.
Right. Well, fair enough, Devontae. Fair enough. I definitely can't fault you for your honesty.
Yeah. All right, man. One more. I got one for you here. Okay. Go ahead and bring it up here. All right, man. So you're Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones. Right. You're backing up, looks like Eli Manning, at least to start the season. Everybody thinks you suck, including New York. What do you have to say to the people who think you suck?
Oh, I've been waiting to address this, man. First of all, you guys can pick a different team to be a fan of. That's first of all. I can't. I have no choice but to play for the Giants. That's who draft. I don't have a choice. So let's get that out there first of all. You think it's exciting? Are you saying you didn't want to be at the Giants? What I'm telling you is I'm going to my next sentence. That's what I'm telling you. You think it's exciting for me to get drafted to a team who just traded one of the best receivers in the league? You think that's where I want to go? I get to go. I could have been playing with a fantastic receiver to help me look good, and now Now they trade him away and then bring me into this situation. Also, let's get to the real issue. I'm sick of standing next to Eli because he's a mouth breather. You know how annoying that is to sit here and I can't even learn anything in the meeting because he's got his mouth wide open, breathing all loud. So I don't learn anything here. It's not my fault. So, I'm a smart guy. I went to Duke. I'm going to be able to get into the playbook and learn what I need to learn. But as far as you guys saying whatever you have to say doesn't faze me. I'm going to do what I came to do, and if I'm not very good, you can blame Eli for breathing so loud in my ear.
Okay. What about those folks out there that say they wish they had drafted Zion Williamson instead of you? I mean, he's from Duke too. You know what I mean? But they think he's the better football player even though he doesn't play football.
What? Zion Williamson? Really?
Yeah.
Zion Williamson.
That guy.
First of all, what you need, I'm understanding that you need a quarterback. That's who you want throwing the ball. Have you seen what he does when he celebrates? Both his wrists, they like curl up into his arm. No, he can't throw a ball like that. and he was there for a year. I'm a smart Daniel Jones. That sounds like a smart guy. Daniel Jones sounds like a guy that's going to last in the NFL. You know what Zion Williamson sounds like? Zion Williamson sounds like the guy that I speak to and tell him as I'm walking by, I'm Daniel Jones and I'm quarterback for the Giants.
Got you. I think I understand. We got it clear now. So you're going to do your thing in New York. You got your boy up there breathing in your ear. You're going to get him out your ear. I mean, are you going to have a better career than he's going to have at the end of the day, or what? You going to win some championships? He has 2 championships now.
No, Eli didn't have any championships. The Giants have championships. Let's get that understood. Daniel Jones is going to have plenty. Don't you guys? And it's actually, scratch that. Daniel Jones is going to have one, and I'm going to leave and go play better somewhere else.
I like it. All right, folks, that's the end of role play. That was our first time through. It's going to get better. I like that. It was funny, man. It was funny, Dave. I like that one.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I definitely enjoyed that. That was fantastic.
So we'll come back around and do some more. Do you have anything else for the people before we sign off tonight?
No, I'm all good, man. I hope you guys are enjoying this time off. And I don't know if you guys are basketball fans. The NBA Finals are starting tonight. It's getting pretty interesting, so tune into that and get ready for these training camps to get started.
Absolutely. Well, folks, we appreciate you coming on in and taking a listen to us today. Again, as always, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. We're going to sign off, and we'll see you next time.